Are you a broke Timmy? Do your friends clown you because of your kit, but you don't have enough rubles to keep buying expensive kits over and over when you die? And let me tell you, my man, you picked the right video. In this video, I'm going to explain my woods loot route. This route was the first reliable loot route I used to grow my stash. While this is my most reliable loot route, it's not streets or reserve or anything. When I go on those maps to fight over high tier loot, I'm using kits that are stocked with my best attachments and ammo. Nothing worse than having a million rubles in your bag just to die in an engagement because you were outgunned. But with woods, you can run almost anything. Shotguns, pistols, SMG, whatever you want. Be naked. As long as you have a large bag and a chest rig, then you're ready to make some money. Before we hop in, I would also like to add that once I unlock the quad nods, I pretty much start running this route entirely at night to make it easier to move around. But that's enough talk. I'm Thickless, and let's hop into raid.
Okay, so the first thing I want to go over is why Woods is such a good map for newer players. This was the first map that I learned, and it's the first map that reliably got millions of rubles into my stash. Currently, I am on Map Genie. You can use Map Genie to see any of the maps. You do have to pay a one-time fee to access, I believe, Streets, Lighthouse, and I think maybe the new map, but I think it's like $5 and you get it for lifetime, so I have the maps. Definitely worth it, I think. It shows you all the quests. It helps you track which ones you completed. Really good source. But anyways, back to why Woods is so good. So currently on the screen, this is a map of Woods with only the extractions that are showing. If we go over here on the left side, and you can see all the different items that you're able to specifically search for. If we look for caches, dead scavs, we'll do toolboxes, weapon boxes, valuables. The only safe is down here. We don't end up going down there, so that's why we don't do the safe. There's meds, duffel bag, and crates. So just look at all of the available loot stashes that you can hit, and if you pay attention with woods, a lot of them are out in the middle. You don't actually even have to hit any of the major locations if you don't want to, and still get out with full bags. When I first started doing this stash, I did kind of learn how to go through here first and make it out that way. But I now go to USEC just because it's pretty easy to get eyes on there and see if it's actually going to be dangerous. And the fighting here is a lot easier than I would say at a lot of other locations because it's kind of predictable. But to show you the loot route, we either start down here at ZB14 or we start over here at Bridge. So whichever side we start on, that's where we're leaving. I always make sure I have money for vehicle extract, which mine's down to like 2,500 or something like that now. But when you first start, you just want to carry 5K with you. And if you have it, you want to carry the ZB14 key. It just makes it easier for faster get outs if it's open, and it makes it worth it to hit. If I don't have the key on me, then I don't risk going down there. But I pretty much only go down there if it's open because I don't want to get stuck with one way out and somebody just holding the top. Now to go over the route that I use. If I start over here over at Bridge Vehicle Extract, I'm going to hit the one that's right next to him. The one that's up in the rocks. Across the road, there's a little hill that you can run up, and there's one right here in the little bushes. As soon as you clear that one, it puts you down the hill into Abandoned Village. I don't like this side of Abandoned Village very much, depending on where I am. If I'm coming from the bottom and up, I'll hit up here if I need more space in my bag taken up. But if I'm coming from up top, I'll usually just come through this bottom side right here because I'm pretty much always going to have a full bag. So after I hit this one, I'm going to come into the building that's directly right there. After this building, I'm going to hit this building, which there's only one barrel stash that's in there, along with in the bush on the ground, there could be some loose valuables. After that, you're able to hop up onto the little thing that's in the water. Sometimes there's something in the boat, but if you go inside the little crouch and look down, you can make it inside the little building that's right here, and there's usually chain spawns, badges, stuff like that. After you hit those, you can come over here to the campsite. Just south of the campsite, you're going to have a ground stash, and then if you continue up to the rock, you're going to have a barrel stash. After those, moving over to Bridge Overlook, you can hit these. There's a building right here, there's loot right here, there's sometimes a wooden crate right here up on the box. You can hit the buildings, there's a jacket right here in the vehicle sometimes, and then there's loot here on the bottom up top. I'll usually hit this fast if I do hit this. Moving over to Scav Bunker, you can go ahead and hit Scav Bunker up top as well as below. If you don't want to hear scav bunker, like if you hear that there's some shooting going around or you heard shots not too long ago when you were over here, you can go out wide and you can hit the dead scav, ground stash, ground cache, ground cache. Usually if I come to scav bunker, I'll come up here, I'll hit this one, and then I'll go in through USEC and take a look. A lot of times people don't hit USEC. They're kind of timid to do it. So even if I spawn on the complete opposite side of the map, a lot of times by the time I make it to USEC, it's still extremely worthwhile for me to loot or completely unlooted. I found Aletics on this back table right here where I found most of my Aletics. Like the last one I found was like 20 minutes into raid and it was still sitting there. So always check. It's definitely worth at least coming up here and seeing if it's still there. If the table's hit, then if you look over here at this table, if the attachments on the table are missing, then chances are it's been hit pretty well. But you can do that with this side right here, and then the attachments that are over here. If the attachments are missing on the table over here, good chance that it at least was started to get hit. If I see if I'm on this side and I see that the attachments have been hit, I'll usually come up on the rocks and get eyes, so that way I can see across and see if there's any other movement. If the attachments are missing, I'll usually come up here on the rocks and take a look across and just see if I can see any eyes, and maybe I can kill the guy that was on this side before he leaves. Leaving USEC, I'll come out here and hit the ground cache. After the ground cache, you cross back over the field, and by the telephone pole, concrete base on the left-hand side, there's another barrel stash. After that barrel stash, you just follow it down the edge. Right before you get to the edge of where it crosses the road, up here behind some bushes, there is a ground cache. After that, I move down to the dead scav. I don't hit this one. So this one is near the mines, which you can safely hit without stepping on any mines. I haven't even touched a mine when I was right there. This one has a sniper scav. I don't know if I was doing it wrong. The first couple of times I tried to reach it, I always got shot by the sniper scav. So either I'm retarded or that's just a bait scav. I don't hit that scav anymore. But if somebody can hit that scav and not get shot, just throw it down in the comments, just because I never really tried again, just because I didn't want to waste my time. But I don't know about this one. After I hit dead scav, I'll come down. If I see that the smoke is open for ZB14, then I'll go down and clear ZB14. Even if ZB14 is hit on this side, the door for it is right here. So a lot of times if it's open, you can still come in here, open the door, and then loot what's right here and then get out. There is a Ledex spawn in here. I've never found a Ledex in here, but it is possible. And then if ZB14 is not up, then I'll just continue down to outskirts and get down or get out. But that's the route. That's the route that I use. If I spawn on this side, I'm going up. If I spawn on this side, I'm going down. Occasionally you will get the spawns that are going to be like over here in the middle. If I get the ones that are over here in the middle, then I'm pretty much going to go to whatever the closest big area that I have. If I spawn up here behind, then I'm just going to probably go up, hit this, and then head towards my extract, which is going to be outskirts. If you spawn up here, your outskirts is going to be your extract. If I spawn over here, I'm going to hit USEC and then come down. The one thing that you do have is, because you bring money for the vehicle extract, if you want to go up through this way and then go through here, hit these, and then hit vehicle extract, you're able to do that. There's so much loot that you don't have to risk yourself to get. I just like to go into USEC because I feel like the risk is worth me getting out with the items that it has there. Let me hide all the ones that I don't even worry about. Okay, so here's an updated version of the map with everything hidden that I don't really pay attention to. There are a couple outliers outside of this typical spawn route that I do. If I spawn down here, then if I have the attachment cabin spawn, then I'm not going to pass up free attachments and scopes, so I will hit attachment scav before, or attachment house, before I come up this way. If you spawn over here by sawmill, there is a barrel ground cache right here, along with underneath the wood over here. There's some loose valuables, and over here as well. So I'll hit these on my way up before I start the route. These are kind of just like extra things that I hit when I'm moving towards the start of the route. But other than that, once I get up here, it's just normal rotations through and through. But let's hop into the game and actually look at the exact route. Okay, so we are up at top of vehicle extract. If we started down at the bottom by ZB14, or if we were somewhere around USEC and we came up to the north, we can always hit the vehicle extract that's right here. But the starting of the route starts right here. If you come to this first bush right here, on the back side of it, you have
Hello? Okay. Ground cache. And then we continue down. Actually, I'm going to take the opportunity since we're in an offline raid to pop an SJ6. And now once we hit that one that's by vehicle extract, we run all the way over here to the rocks. And you could do this. You can do these runs either during the day or at night. If you have night vision, it's actually a lot easier to see the ground caches. They pop in against the grass a lot easier. So if you're having a hard time finding them, it is easier to at least learn them at night because it's just easier to see. But you come up here on the hill, all the way back here to the corner. Oh, not here this time, but there is a ground cache that's right there. After I hit that one, come down through right here. Be careful right here. That's just a straight drop. You got to go around these trees and then you can come down. And then we're going to run straight across the street on the right side of the rocks. You can go up on the left side. There's really no reason to go up on that side. So we're going to come up over here. Sometimes if it doesn't let you up, you kind of have to jump. If you come up like over here, you have to jump to get up. But come up over here by this tree right here. Ground cache. Or Jaeger stash, whatever. All right, after we hit that one, we move into Abandoned Village. This is kind of the first area that you're gonna have to do a little bit of scanning just to make sure that you are alone. Whenever I come up here, I don't go anywhere right of these two buildings right here. So first thing I'll do is I'll come in here, check right here, hit the bag. There usually be a couple of loot on the ground, some right here, and then after that, exit the building and come this way. Usually I'll hit this building first just because it gives me more time to kind of scan and make sure I'm not going to be kind of just out there in the open. But you want to come out here. You want to come up here, drop down onto the boats. There is spawns that can happen right here, just not very often. Come up here, crouch, and look down. There will be valuable spawns. You can get badges, gold chains, skulls, rings, everything right there. After that, I'll head back onto the rock. If you come to this corner right here, you can climb up or jump. It's going to take twice. Once you do the second time, you're up. After that, or if you did it first, you come in here. Now there can be loose loot on the ground right here in the bush, so kind of scan the bush right here. And it's not, oh, it is right here. And then there is a ground cache. Right. After that, we're going to exit and stay on this side of the river. If you come over here to the camp, on the back side of this bush right here, there is a ground cache that is not here right now. It's one of the Jaeger stashes, one of the wooden ones. It's like right here. Could be this one. It's been a minute since I did this one. Yeah, it's this one right here. It should be, I think, either right here or behind this tree. There's the camp so you can see. Oh, no, sorry. So here's the camp, then the one closest to the rocks. There is another cache. It's been a while since I did this one. After that, come up here to the rocks. Barrel stash. After that, we're going to go ahead and head over to the top side of the lake over here, and we're going to hit the scav bunker. After you hit the rock one, you don't have to worry about checking any of these bushes or trees. There's nothing here. I'm in an offline raid, so I'm not really doing it, but as you're running down this way, kind of check across. You can catch people's silhouettes of them either left or right and let you know whether you're alone or not. Also, there are scav spawns in there, so you can hear shots from in there, as well as from up here or in the back by scav. If you hear shots, just kind of know which way you're rotating towards, because, I mean, you're eventually going to get there. I mean, if I'm going this way and the shots are that way, I don't care very much, but if I know I'm heading this way, then depending on how far the shots are away, or it's going to depend on how soon I'm going to start playing defensive. But I like to come up this way on the corner, so that way I can use I can see through the camp. After you see the camp, this doesn't mean that you're alone. Clear your right side. I have found somebody hiding right here when they heard me come up, as well as inside here. But inside here you have some loot. There will be loose loot right here, ammo right here. I think there's a grenade box that spawns right here. There's either a box right here or right here. There can also be a box that spawns up here. Sometimes there's loose loot right here. Inside here you have loose loot, as well as I believe there's a bag right here. Up there, not very much. You can get a jacket that'll spawn right here. You have another one right here. Even though I'm full on food, I like to pick up food just because the bigger ones sell for a good amount, usually like 25, 30k. Hit those. You can check the back of this. Sometimes there's something right there. After you hit those, I'll usually cross over low, so that way I'm less likely to be seen from the actual scav bunker. More likely you're going to have to clear out some scavs in this area. If you're able to come around, sometimes you can actually come around the backside and have scavs walking around and not have them alerted to you. If let's see if we can do it right here, because there's a scav over there. So you have a grenade box right here. If it's possible, I like to leave scavs alive just because it serves as a warning. I also think right there is a box that didn't spawn. You have a bag. There's a couple of bags and boxes up here on the top. Loose loot. There can be loose loot. Usually a grenade box right there, as well as another one. Then come on, drop down. There can be scavs in here, so just watch out. I'll usually clear it first, so that way I don't get killed by someone that's in here already. All right, if you come over here in the corner, there is a jacket. Look underneath the cot. You can get gold spawns, you can get horses, gold chains, stuff like that. Same thing with along these right here. There's a bag. And then all along this right here, you can also get loot. You do kind of want to check and at least crouch walk over the top and see if there's anything small, like a gold chain or like a gold ring or a skull or something like that. Inside here, you can get loot that's all right here on the bottom, up here on the table, and then right here as well. And then don't forget that the bag is right here on your way out. All right. No grenade box, so we're just gonna go ahead and keep going. After you hit this area, the next location is going to be USEC. I like to hit USEC. You do have the opportunity that if you want to, you can go out and hit the ground cache that's out there and then go around. I think the loot that's inside USEC is more valuable than the loot that you're going to find out there. So even though that's more of a risk, it's something that I prefer to do just because I do like to run into some PvP. But it is an alternative if you want to be extra safe. Should have brought another SJ6. How's my... Alright, do be careful about going too far right. You can step on landmines. These trees are about as far right as I like to go. If I am running up, that grass is pretty much the last area that I'll run just because I want to be able to hear and see if there's anybody right here. So you can check and see if you see anybody right here or on the right side. You have this, but before I come in here, I'll usually come and do a scan, see if the table's unhit, see if those tables are unhit. Those typically have loot on them. Once I'm pretty clear and I've done a little glossary check of across to make sure I'm not going to get walked in on anybody, I'll come over and start hitting the loot. I'll start hitting. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this box, but this is a lootable box. I don't know why it's not looting. Over here on the back side, there can be a weapon spawn right here. I found a loaded M4 before, fully kitted. You have attachment table, scopes, silencers, attachments. Go ahead and loot up. All right, this is the LEDX area. Even if you're just glancing by the area and you don't want to stay in this area, at least come up and check this area. I found already 2 LEDXs here. One of the LEDXs was after this area has completely been looted. So you just want to check the table, make sure you get the top area, there's a bandage, get the IFAK. And then just down here on the floor, there's a lot of clutter, but you can find the LEDXs and more loot down here. After that, you're going to come inside. There's a loot box that spawns right there. Not there this time. Come over here and hit the other attachment tables. This is an offline raid, so a lot of things aren't going to be there that are usually there, but you can get attachments. And then you have... Why are these wooden boxes not lootable? But you got a wooden box here that's lootable. For whatever reason, it's not letting me hit it on an offline raid. And then there's also a weapon box that'll spawn right here. Okay, so just to save on weight, because normally once I find a rig or another armor or armored rig, I would normally insurance fraud mine. That's why it's really good to come in with just some whatever gear. You don't have to come in really geared with this one because your chances are you're gonna leave with some more. So just to help with weight, I'm gonna ditch my armor. I still have this one almost completely full. Let's go ahead and go like this so we can see what's full. Then we'll go ahead and continue on. So, okay, so before I go to that side, rather than go and face check through all the trees, I'll usually come up this way and come up on the rocks. And then it gives you the ability to get high ground and kind of scan, make sure nobody's here. Obviously no one's here because it is a offline, but you can get an M4 spawn right here. Come from behind, hit the wooden cache. Hey, let me hit it. Right, loose loot can spawn up here. Loose loot right here. There will be a weapon box right here, and then there can be loose loot that spawns right here. Make sure you hit the table. There's usually ammo and a couple of maybe some food, stuff like that. Come over here. In the back side of the truck, there's usually one of these, but that's lootable. That's right here. You can actually loot it from standing right here, so that way you're a little bit more hidden and harder to see. You got loose loot right here, mostly food and medical. There's a box that can spawn right here. Box that can spawn right here, as well as back here. There is a valuable spawn that is right here, but sometimes it's pretty deep and it's kind of a pain in the ass to get to, so I'll just avoid it. You have attachment table, which will be silencers and scopes. I believe there's a box right here, a couple more attachments right here, and then you do have a weapon box. Okay. And normally if I was selling everything, I would pick up all the attachments just because that's where I get my money for. I sell all my my like weapons attachments and stuff to Peacekeeper so I can afford all my ammo and stuff. But if you come up here, you can jump up here. Ammo spawns, scope spawns, you can get a fully kitted M4. If you're coming from the south side over here, I'll usually come up over here and kind of take a look and see kind of what it looks like. A lot of times you can kind of see the loose loot and see if it's been hit or not. But after that, come down and drop down and boom, you're starting to loot. But We've already hit this location, so let's go ahead and move on to our next. I'll usually run through these trees before I cross over, but since nobody's here right now, I'm going to go ahead and go directly to the next bush spawn. Okay, so on the left side of the main entrance to USEC, if you come over behind this bush, you can kind of see how it looks. Right here, there's another ground cache. All right, after that, we're going to go ahead and cross over. Usually I'll kind of do it on the higher end over here just so I'm not visible, but if I've already been through USEC, then I'm kind of less worried that I'm going to get shot from USEC. Okay, going to come over to the base of this one, and on the left side of the concrete, there's going to be a barrel stash. Like right now, I can go ahead and drop that, boom, saves inventory space and allows me to carry on with new items that I'm going to get back from insurance. There's a couple of the ground caches and barrel stashes that are going to be kind of in the woods and along that way, but I kind of like sticking to this route, so I don't mind the little extra danger. And then after that, you're going to stay on the high side. Even though you're kind of out here in the open, I have not gotten shot while moving through here. I have gotten into an engagement, seen somebody moving, and I've taken out a 3-man from here, but I've never been coming through this way and got hit by surprise. I've only taken the shots. I haven't been shot at. But come up here on the backside. Don't go too high just because you do have landmines right here. But we're going to come over here to the backside of this tall tree where this bush is. And there's it's not here right now, but there's another ground cache right here. And then after you hit this one, so they've added new landmines that I have discovered since I have started doing this spawn. I haven't done this this route that I'm doing right now, this current wipe, but they did add a bunch of landmines. So I just hit one coming out of this location, so when you do leave, just kind of come back and go around. Don't get blown up. So normally I would stay in the grass and I would hug down that side, but yeah, on that side there's a bunch of landmines now, so don't come out that side of the tree, go around. Or at least experiment and see exactly where they're at in like an offline raid, so that way you can just know what the safe path is. There is a dead scav that spawns right here, but I've always gotten shot at from snipers when I go to hit it. Plus, I discovered that there's a landmine like right over here, so just stay far left. Don't even go over there. There is also a dead scav right here that I have discovered. They added a landmine. So if you are going to hit this one, come from underneath the tree. If you come from underneath the tree, we'll find out right now, but you should be fine. No, okay, just avoid those. All right, so the dead scavs on both right here and right there are now pretty much bait. Don't go for them. I'm now going to delete these from my my route. It's just not worth it. But yeah, there's mines right here and there's mines all right here. So when you come through this area, go through the trees, stay around. Don't get near the dead scavs or the concrete right here where the dead scav is. Just stay to the right and come through this way and then cut over and then begin the route that way. But that is essentially the route. If I had spawned up there and this was a legitimate raid, then I would come this way and check and see if ZB was up. If it was, then I would hit ZB and make it out. That's why it's really good to have the ZB14 key. So it is open, so I'll come down in here, do a quick, little scan, make sure nobody's in here. Loose loot right here, we loose loot right there. You got a bag. Boom. You got some loose loot. Check right there, right here. I didn't bring my key with me this time because I completely forgot what I was doing, but then you hit the key, you can hit the ice cream cones, hit a couple of attachments, a couple stuff, and then get out. If you don't have the extract, then you just continue and head down to outskirts. If you spawn down here by ZB or by outskirts, then you do the exact same pathing, but in reverse, and you just head up to ZB or the vehicle extract in the corner. If the vehicle extract is taken, or for whatever reason, if you just forgot your money, then that's the point where I'll head south of the scav town, go through the mountains, hit those caches, and then take the northern UN roadblock and get out that way. But that's the route. And you can see we did pass on some things. There was a couple of boxes that it didn't let us loot, as well as items that didn't spawn because I'm in offline and there's not enough players to make them spawn. But you're able to get full bag. Got a couple of new items. We got rig. We got an armored rig, helmet. Normally I'll get out with a gun or two. And once I'm out, just go ahead, sell everything, and go back in. Well, that's my woods route. While it might not be the most expensive route that you will run or that I will even cover, it is my most consistent. So if I'm down bad on rubles or it's the beginning of wipe and I'm trying to build up my stash, this route makes making a few million rubles to start off a breeze. I hope this route will help you guys make some money and be able to afford some bigger, better kits so that way we can use them on the other maps in this series. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. If you liked the video, please drop a like, and if you want to stay up to date on more content, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Thickless, and I'll see you in Raid.